How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be explaining why I do not think 99 overall MVP Mookie Betts as the big collection is worth it right now in MLB The Show 21. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. We also have some additional content added to this updated schedule coming out on August 5th as well as August 9th. We have a couple brand new things that were not there previously in addition to the monthly award card. But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who commented on the last video giving me a guess on who you thought would be, the big collection reward. And I don't think anybody guessed this correctly. Nobody commented Mookie Betts before he was actually released, right? Obviously, edited comments will not count towards the giveaway that we were doing in the previous video if you watched the entire video, right? I put that in there at the end for a specific reason. I wanted to see who was watching the entire video. But with that being said, we do have 99 overall MVP Mookie Betts included as the Legends and Flashback collections. Based off this screenshot, we don't necessarily know how many collections will be released because the visual is not the same as the live series where we clearly see 3 rewards there, right? Mariano Rivera is not depicted on this screenshot here. So that kind of makes me wonder a little bit, but I'm also completely let down with this collection. I was extremely excited to try and collect all these vouchers and earn a brand new 99 overall legend, and we get Mookie Betts. Now, this is still a great choice, right? I want to make sure that I explain that this card is extremely good. Like, he is an incredible athlete. I love Mookie Betts as a player. It's nothing against this guy specifically. But this is not what I'm looking for in terms of a big collection that's worth a lot of stubs, right? The opportunity cost to lock this card in is exponential. It's substantial. I mean, it costs a lot, probably around 2+ million stubs, maybe even more, plus some additional grinding. But I think if you were to give the same exact attributes on a card like Ken Griffey Jr., the MLB The Show community would be going absolutely crazy right now. But because it's Mookie Betts, there's just not as much hype behind it. I just don't think that that was a great or good choice, right? I put out a tweet on Twitter asking people their thoughts on the collection, and 61% of the people that have voted so far have voted either average or bad as a selection in terms of the collection reward. So I'm not, trying to portray my thoughts out there to anybody. You're perfectly okay to disagree with my opinions, right? These are just my thoughts. And I probably should have sold a lot of these other players that I'd been investing in before they actually announced who the reward would be, because they have significantly dropped in value. We also have a flash sale going on, right? These are different factors that I wasn't necessarily expecting to be added into this big collection. I thought we would see a flash sale after the collection, but I probably would be able to lock in about 9 to 10 of these vouchers right now. But I just don't think it's worth it at the moment. This card will obviously drop in price as more cards are released throughout the game cycle. I waited about a month for Mariano Rivera before I collected him, and I'll probably wait longer for this Mookie Betts, to be honest with you. Mariano Rivera I thought was a better choice because he's an endgame closer. You could argue that Mookie Betts would be an endgame outfielder or an endgame second baseman, but that's just not what I'm personally looking for with this collection. I already have, Jackie Robinson. I already have, a bunch of outfielders, and I know that a lot of other people do as well. But I'm looking for a big endgame legend, somebody who is going to hype up the MLB The Show community. And Mookie Betts might do that for you, right? You might be a Red Sox fan. You might really like Mookie Betts. He might be your favorite player as a Dodgers fan. But honestly, I think the only live series or current day player that I would have been okay with them choosing as a big collection reward would have been the Player of the Month, Fernando Tatis. Like, that Player of the Month, Fernando Tatis, would have the active quirks. If he had the same attributes as the Mookie Betts even, I would be ecstatic right now. I'd be extremely excited. I would be trying to lock in all these cards no matter the cost, and that's just not what I'm looking to do with this 99 overall MVP Mookie Betts. I know a lot of other people have already collected the card. Props to them. I think if you're a content creator like myself, then that would make sense to go ahead and, collect all these players. But for me, right now, I just don't think it's worth it. And I also want to clarify that The reason why I don't think it's worth it is not because of how much it costs, right? I knew that it was going to cost a lot. I knew that it was going to be extremely difficult to get and require a lot of players. I didn't think it would require this many players, but if it did, I would just expect to have that much of a better legend. I mean, with Roberto Clemente, Willie Mays, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Ken Griffey Jr., Hank Aaron, those players are what I was looking for with this collection. And maybe I got my hopes up, right? Maybe because I was thinking about that, this is even that more of a letdown for me. I don't necessarily know, but these are just my thoughts, my initial thoughts, right? Over time, obviously, this collection will be more worth it. It will be more valuable. It won't cost as much to get an endgame player like Mookie Betts. He is a 5-tool player. That's not anything, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm looking for a specific 5-tool player. Just Mookie Betts would not be the guy that I would have selected or that I would want to grind for in terms of a big collection like this. And I don't think that that's a terrible thing for me to say, right? That I just don't like the reward. Obviously, it's a great card. Like, he has a pretty good swing. I think there are players that have better swings, right? Two-handed swings, quicker swings that I personally like. But that's all personal preference. This card is an endgame 5-tool player, just maybe not for me. And I don't know. Eventually, I would use him, but I would rather spend the stubs that I have on a player like this, Vladimir Guerrero, a player like Jackie Robinson, right? If you don't have Jackie Robinson, I would probably try and get him. He's required for the collection regardless, but I would rather have this guy. Like, I would rather use this player at second base over Mookie Betts, and that's just my personal preference. I like Jackie Robinson in this game. I think it's really cool that he was released early on in the game cycle, and we're going to get some gameplay with a couple of these guys as well. I won't be collecting the Mookie Betts for a while. I apologize if that's something that you really want to see. Just for me personally, I just don't think that it's that great of an option. I would have liked to see an endgame legend, a 5-tool legend, and if they didn't go with a 5-tool legend, the only player I probably would have been all right with is 99 overall Babe Ruth. But that's just because of what is required to earn this collection, right? Obviously, it's not something that's meant to be done within a couple of hours. I know some people already have them. It's not designed that way. Obviously, people that play the game and have every single card, they'll be able to get this. And even if I had every single card, I would still be saying a lot of the same things that I'm saying. So please keep that in mind, right? It's not because I don't have all the cards necessary. It's not because I ended up losing stubs with some of the investments that I made, not knowing there would be a flash sale, right? That has nothing to do with it. I'm just analyzing the content and the feedback from the community. But one last thing I wanted to mention is the fact that we don't have as many legends this year in the game. That could have been, the main reason why they chose a current day player. And we still could see Fernando Tatis released. Those were just some players that I was really hoping for with this big collection. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm College Lefty, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.